Hey there, YouTubers, unboxing video time. So, as you can see, this is the AsRock Pro Series RS Z690. And before I had asked folks, hey, what 12th gen CPU do you want me to get with it? Still haven't gotten enough feedback to really get an idea of which one you want. So, probably going to end up with the i5. Who knows? Alright, so this supports 12th gen obviously, and will eventually probably support 13th gen. Polychrome sync for your RGB, so that's a software you can download usually from their website. Things that I may forget: there are 3 PCIe by 16 slots in this. That one's 5.0, one's 4.0, and one is 3.0. Alright. Some of the gen front USBs 3.2. So we probably, we get to it, we won't cover that. So there's that information. The LAN connection 2.5. On this channel, honestly, that's not something that really matters to me. Basically because my network is not running at those kind of speeds, right? So it does look like Gen 5 for SSDs and the PCIe. Maybe it's just the PCIe slot, but there you go. More than double Gen 4 and 4 times greater than Gen 3. Will you actually notice that in gaming? Good question, folks. Power phase design. So there's that information there. Let's go ahead and get this open. So let me put this to the side, and we'll just look at what else is in the box first. Got to draw this out a little bit, right? Installation disc. I get my stuff off the internet. This would appear to be a graphics card holder. I never use those. Maybe I should start using them. Their graphics card support. This is the thing that kind of chaps my you-know-what. Spend, almost $200 on a motherboard, and we still get one of these lousy I/O shields that's not built into the motherboard. Now, one thing that's nice, it looks like there are 1, 2, 3, 4 M.2 screws, okay? I always losing those things. Then I find them on the floor, step on them. SATA cable, 2 of those. I rarely ever use that. And then a extra standoff. Their guides, they actually have pretty good guides. I will give them that. So, AsRock, love them, hate them, whatever. They are definitely a cheaper motherboard manufacturer. Not as bad as BioStar, in my opinion, but still rather cheap. Now, while I can't say I've had a failure with this, with their motherboards that I can recently remember, I have had them with, the more well-known companies, the better quality companies. So, what does that tell you? But when I say, cheap, it's the manufacturing quality in places, the features, just like that I/O shield, the fact that I spent all that money on this, and we get what we get. Alright, where shall we start, folks? Well, like I said, here is your socket, and amazingly the print is upside down here, but LGA 1700, 1800. Now, when they were going from 10th to 11th gen, some of the motherboards, for Intel, did not end up actually becoming compatible with 11th gen, which was kind of annoying. This case, obviously, hey, there's an M.2 screw. In this case, they obviously are planning that, right? So it's good to see that. Alright, what do we got over here? Our Ddr4 Ram Slots. So, you know, I think about the 200, 229 range is when you start to see ones that have Ddr4, Ddr5. I will be buying a lot more 12th gen motherboards. If the, you know, history of what I have here holds true, you know, I'll probably end up with at least 10 12th gen motherboards. Because if I add up all the motherboards I have, 8th gen, 9th gen, 10th gen, 11th, it's averaging out about that. Maybe 10 AMD motherboards altogether here, but so yeah, 4 of those. You have 2 CPU fan headers there, and then you can see on the motherboard. So this is always nice if you have your glasses, but you can see they want you, you know, to use A2 and B2, right? Most of you know that. Sometimes in my videos, I may not, I may screw that up, but the fact is I know what I know, and you still screw it up. So that would be this slot and that slot. Those are the first 2, right? And of course, if you have 4 sticks of RAM of the same kind or whatever, then you'll use all the slots. 24-pin power connector coming from your power supply. USB 3.0, so this comes from your case most likely. Here is a fan header. Now, how many of those do we have? I might as well add them up for you real fast. 1, 2. Huh, I only see 3. So this one, 1, and then 2 here, and then we have 3 here. There aren't any hidden back here, and then the 2 for the CPU, right? So there's a total of 5. Oh, did we miss one? There's one up here. Okay, hang on, folks. Sorry. 2 for the CPU. 1, 2, 3, 4. So it looks like 6 total. Okay. Now a lot of people appreciate that, so I had to do that for y'all. There's another USB. So if you have on your case, you're going to have, let's say, 4 USB 3.0s on the case. You need something like this. If you only have 2, then, you know, having one of these is all you need. 6 SATAs. I rarely ever use those, but it's another story. 2 more over here, okay? Now over here we have our front panel connectors right in there. I'm going to try and get a little closer so you guys can see. A lot of times, you know, I'll do a test bench, so we'll only use the one for the power supply with the little on-off gizmo. Now, these should be USB 2.0s right here. You've got some RGB stuff in here. HD audio right there next to my thumb. CMOS battery, okay. Now what do we use this for mainly these days, folks? Resetting our BIOS. A lot of times you'll find when you put in RAM that isn't compatible with your motherboard and you overclock it, or you overclock it too hard, your computer will, you know, it'll boot up, but you won't see it post. You won't see Windows. Won't make it into the BIOS. Sometimes, you know, after 3 tries it'll do it on its own, but if it doesn't, you know, pop this out and boom, you'll be good to go. Alright, so PCIe 5.0 by 16, 4.0 by 16, 3.0 by 16. You've got 2 of the 1-inchers, which is good, you know, for a Wi-Fi card. This does not have Wi-Fi, so you may want a Wi-Fi card. And this actually is nice. They've got this slot right here, right? So you can put your Wi-Fi card in here, run your cable over to USB 2.0, good to go. Now, one thing I did do a version of this video where I went super fast, and we were dragging this out to, you know, give you guys a little more information about it. So, M.2s. We got a Hyper here, Hyper under here, and a Ultra M.2, okay? So, Gen 4, I don't know if this is Gen 5, but definitely Gen 4, and then Gen 3 here. Spot for a Wi-Fi card there, but they didn't put the little thing in there to, you know, put your antenna. So I don't know how good that's going to work out for you. What else, folks? What else do we see? Of course, various heat sinks on here. The information that we saw on the back of the motherboard. But yeah, this is, you know, obviously the best AsRock motherboard I've ever bought. Oh, here you go. So 1x8, 1x4 CPU power. This, you know, will get you into the extreme overclocking. Would be better, obviously, if it had two 1x8s, probably. Will that really make a difference? Good question. Yours truly doesn't overclock CPUs that high to find out. So, alright. Let's start over here to the right. We've got line out, headphone, microphone. Here's our 2.5 LAN, 4 USB 3.0s. This is most likely for updating the BIOS right here. HDMI, DisplayPort, PS2, the old PS2 style. And I always make this comment, you know, does anybody actually use this anymore? I haven't used this in 20 years, 30 years maybe. And this, somebody will say, oh yeah, I have. And then USB 2.0s. There is nothing on the back, no extra M.2s. Alright. And there you go, folks. That's the unboxing and the overview. Hope you guys got something out of it. If you did, please like, please subscribe. I eventually will do a BIOS update where we'll talk about, you know, reasons why you would want to update the BIOS on this. Obviously, going to 13th gen, you'd want to do that with the 12th gen chip in. There will be other features probably that, you know, compatibility issues that are solved, security issues, all those things. And then hopefully in that video I will remember to, you know, show you guys what happens sometimes with your boots after you do the BIOS update. You end up in the BIOS and you do not end up being able to boot into Windows. Well, a lot of times it's boot priority, sometimes it's other stuff. So, hey, thanks for checking out the video. Please like, please subscribe. Thank you.